you feel about the age difference, babe?
Honestly, I never think about it. And I forget a lot of the times that there is a gap.
She looks at me and she's like, what are your intentions with my son since you are older than him? And then she just started laughing. I was like, oh my God, I've never been asked that question because I've never dated anyone younger than me.
I feel like part of talking about age comes from like sexual attraction as well. A year later, I'm extremely attracted to you and I don't feel like we lack anything in any of those areas.
Hey guys, how are you? Espero que estén muy bien. I'm so happy to be here with all of you. So happy to be taping another episode of Chiquis and Chill. If this is your first time listening to the pod, welcome. I'm your host, Chiquis. So today is an interesting one, an interesting topic. Have an interesting guest that's going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about relationship age gaps, you guys. It's pretty common for a man to be older than a woman, but what about when a woman is older than a man? So that's what we're going to be talking about. Grab your drink. Tequila. I'm having cafecito right now. I've had way too much tequila these past few days, so I'm going to stick to water and coffee. Welcome to another episode of Chiquis and Chill. All right, so today we have, like I said, a very special guest, my boyfriend, Emilio. Hi, babe.
Hi, my love.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Emilio is actually younger than I am by 7 years.
Oh, you said the number.
Yeah, I did say the number. Yeah, 7 years, you guys. 7 years. I get a lot of questions about that. And I get it. It's not something people normally talk about. But really quick, before we dive into this topic, I want to give you guys a little background on how we met. We talked about it before, but basically, I met Emilio last year, March 1st to be exact. And we met him, I met him at Becky's birthday party. I had met him before that, which was when, babe? Do you remember?
Jolene,
yes. Jolene, that's right. That was like May of 2020. He took some pictures of me for the song with Becky G, Jolene. So Becky and Emilio have known each other since they were little. I don't know if in diapers.
Yeah, pretty much.
They see each other like cousins. Anyway, so that was the first time I met him. And then on March 1st, he went to Becky's birthday party that we had for her, a surprise birthday party at my house. And he came and we just hit it off and we've been talking since then. So that's a little background. I'm not going to get into details because I feel like that's a whole other episode because it was just really cute how we met, you know? I was like, I loved his dimples. I was like, oh my God, I want to poke his little dimples. And he has really nice eyeballs. It's exactly what I said the first time. I said, wow, you have very nice eyeballs. He's like, eyeballs? I'm like, yeah, you do. Anyways, He's getting shy. Okay, so that's out of the way. So we should start off by saying something that I don't really talk about, you guys. Emilio is 29 and I am 36. I think for women, it's this whole thing of don't ask age, don't talk about ages or don't talk about your age or ask their age like a woman. And you know what? I was thinking about it right now. I'm like, fuck it. I am 36. I'm proud of being 36, proud of everything that I've been able to accomplish at this age. I don't feel like I look 36. Shit, I always say I'm 28, I don't feel it. I definitely don't feel it. So it's kind of crazy to say it out loud because I'm like, oh shoot, he's 29. I never thought that I was going to date someone this much younger than I am. But it's worked out. I mean, we're going on a year. How do you feel about the age difference, babe? Honestly, is it something you think about?
Honestly, I never think about it. And I forget a lot of the times that there is a gap because it doesn't feel like it when we're together,
I know. Is it because I'm immature?
It's because I'm more mature than my age and you're immature at your age. So we meet right in the middle, We meet at 32.
Okay, yes, you are a lot more mature than a lot of guys your age, even guys that are older than you. You are way more mature. I think it's because you've done therapy. You've been very intentional about that in your life. And that's one of the things I love. And that helps out a lot. And I've done my share of life coaching and therapy. And I think I'm just a free spirit, very young at heart. But then I like to call myself an old soul because I'm pretty wise. But I like to fuck around a lot. We mess around a lot. We laugh, we joke around. And I think it just keeps things light and happy. So maybe that's where you say we meet up at 20. We meet up at 28, I think. No, 29, 30. We meet up at 30. All right, cool. Okay, so when him and I first met, did I ask your age then that night?
Well, you went through my phone that night, so you probably asked me my age too.
I did. Toxica! Mind you, we were buzzing. Okay, it was a really nice kickback for Becky. Like, it was super private, super intimate. So we were all just vibing. Like, the energy that night was something I'll never forget. So I just felt very comfortable with him. I felt like, dude, I can talk to this guy. Like, I don't know, we were laughing. Like, we just got along. So I grabbed his phone. I was going to put my number in his phone because he hadn't asked. He's a little bit more shy, but he is the first one that kissed me. You kissed me. You were a little shy.
Yeah, I did kiss you. I kissed you right away.
What'd you do? He followed me, you guys.
I followed her.
I was hoping he would follow me.
She set me up.
I set you up.
And I fell for the trap.
Imagine if I would have been like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Obviously, we wouldn't be here, but, I was hoping that he would follow me and then we could just like kiss in private. And that's exactly what happened. But anyways, from there, we continued talking. We were like chilling. We went away from the party, from everyone else. And I put my number in his phone and I put baby with a purple heart. Oh my God. I think about it. I'm like, what was I thinking? Oh my gosh. Toxic to the max, yo. And I was like looking, I was like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? How many girls do you talk to? And this and that. I'm like, dude, that's not cute. Girls, I don't recommend you doing that. Emilio's just super chill. And like, now that we understand each other's personalities, it's kind of like, I don't know. It must have been the alcohol, but it worked out. Like, he didn't trip about it, but I wouldn't regularly recommend that. So at first it did worry me. There was some conversations once I found out how old he was. I was kind of like, oh my goodness, I'm 36. Do we want the same things? Like, we talked about, do you want kids? And he's like, at first you had said,
I always knew I wanted kids in my life, but I've never felt anywhere close to like ready for that.
Do you feel ready now?
Now I do.
Why?
Because now that it feels more achievable. Now that I have someone in my life who wants the same things as me, I feel like I'm in a safe place with you where it's like, okay, if we did this, we would do it together. And it's not like a fairy tale dream anymore. Now it's like, it seems very achievable for us to do.
I think it also helps that you have a woman that holds her own, perhaps. Is that a thing where it's like, we are partners? I don't depend on you too much and you don't depend on me. Like, we have our own thing and we meet in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's been a big thing in our relationship since the beginning. Everything being 50-50 is very important to me. So the fact that our relationship was built on that since day one, like, it's established a really good foundation between us.
Absolutely. That's something that we both communicated from the very beginning. Like, I had learned from my past relationship, I know what I want, what I don't want, what I want to change, what I want to do differently. And I feel like I've done a very good job with it. And so have you, because we've had these deep conversations, you guys, and he was a completely different person in his past relationship. And I think we feel like, okay, we probably messed up the last relationship. Like, let's do everything right in this one. And I'm going to tell you straight up, like, when I met Emilio, I had just written in my notes, like, the type of man that I wanted. He has a lot of those things. I did want someone that was in my, supposedly, según yo, 40, 45. I wanted someone older, someone that perhaps had been married before and divorced and has children, because I wasn't sure if I wanted kids. And it's crazy because I'm like, okay, this is what I thought I wanted. You know what I mean? But then I met him and I was a little skeptical and a little hesitant because I'm like, he's 29, he's young. Like, I kind of took it slow at first because I'm like, okay, let's feel this out. But even if I wanted to take it slow, things just happen. Like, I got to the point where I'm like, I'm going to let it flow and I'm not going to think about it too much. Because I tell them, like, well, what if you realize that you want someone younger later? Those are just like insecurities that I think all women have. But with time, like, he's made me feel so confident in our relationship and he makes me feel wanted. And he's so fucking mature for his age. I'm telling you, I told myself I'm not going to date anyone younger than me, not even a year younger. And now I'm dating someone that's 7 years younger. And it's crazy, but I'm happy because we're on the same page. We want the same things. And he makes me feel secure, like stability, which I think is what all women want. So I wanted to do a podcast on this because I think a lot of us think about age and we could potentially be missing out on a great opportunity with someone just because they're either too old or too young. And I think that that's the worst thing that you could do, because I'm living proof of this is working out. He is so responsible, and I'm grateful. Every time someone asks me, how are you doing, Chiquis? I'm like, estoy tranquila. I feel at peace. Like, I don't worry about him. He communicates. He was just like, hey, I don't want you to worry. Here's my location, on his own. I was like, are you sure? Like, I don't want you to feel like, he's like, no. I want to give you this. I want to give that to you because I don't want you to feel like, I want you to know where I'm at. And I'm like, okay, at first it was a little weird. I was like, well, does that mean I have to share my location? He's like, no, I'm not saying that. You do whatever you want. This is what I want to do. I was like, what? He's just so different, you guys. Emilio, have you ever dated anyone older?
I have not dated anyone older.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
Like, to me, just, I don't know, it doesn't really matter because I don't really look at age like that. Like I said, I forget that you're 7 years older than me because we just vibe and we have so much fun together. It's like, I don't think about those kind of things.
Do you feel like for sure, like age is nothing but a number?
Kind of, yeah.
In most cases, right? Obviously, we're not, you know what I mean? Be over 18.
Yeah, we're not like 20 years apart from each other. You know, like that's so drastic.
Yeah. And my mom dated, the love of her life was 10, almost 11 years younger than her. And that was like the love of her life. So that's why I was like, well, my mom did it. I guess it's all right, you know, but now I'm like, okay, I'm experienced. I'm not thinking about it that much. I'm like, I'm not going to let it bother me. I think it's all about taking it day by day. And the funny thing is, guys, I'm going to tell you a little funny story. So we went out the other night and we ran into his ex-girlfriend. This is the second ex-girlfriend of Emilio's that we run into. Okay. I think the first one was like, I don't know, 3 weeks in, babe, was it?
Yeah, it was very early.
Very early on. And we went on date night the other day and we ran into his like most recent ex-girlfriend who he had been with on and off for 3 years. And I was like, what the heck? Like that, I think more than anything was like, oh my, he doesn't really have a type. Like I'm very different from these girls. Then that started coming into play. I'm like, okay, are you sure I'm your type? Because it's very different. The two girls that I've seen are very different from me and they're different from each other. But anyways, the reason I'm bringing that up is because that's why I believe him when he says that the age does not bother him and he does not think about it at all, because he's like, I just vibe. If I vibe with the person, it doesn't matter. That also makes me feel better as far as like age goes.
Yeah. And I feel like part of the topic of talking about age comes from like sexual attraction as well.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, you probably had your doubts, but a year later, I know you're a lot more confident in that you know that what I say, I mean, like the age doesn't matter. I'm extremely attracted to you in every sort of way. And I don't feel like we lack anything in any of those areas.
Oh, so you want to talk about sex? Let's talk about sex, baby. Well, no, that I can attest to. Like for sure, you do make me feel very confident, very secure, very sexy. Like it's just, his hands are on me all the time. And even when we're like in bed, you know, doing our thing, there's certain things that I say that I'm just like, you know, I can't repeat here because it's a little too much, but it comes up. The age thing comes up during, you know, the nasty, because I think it's just cute, you know, but I know you guys want to know what I say, but I'm going to tell you, okay, there's certain things I have to keep private. Okay. I know you're not used to it, everyone.
I think what you say is funny. It's funny to me. I'm like, because I don't think of it like that, but it's funny that you think of things. So it's interesting.
Like what?
I don't know.
Come on, say it. What do I say?
No, you gotta say that.
No, Emilio.
Are we allowed to cuss? Like,
I just said fucking a whole bunch of times. Yes,
okay,
this is my podcast. This is our safe space.
I don't think I can say it. It's pretty vulgar. It
is?
Yeah.
Okay.
She just likes that young. She likes that young.
He's energetic, guys. We're good. We're chilling, you know? And on Valentine's Day, guys, for those of you that heard that podcast, you know what I'm talking about. If not, go listen to it. Dr. Viviana, we spoke about sex and all that stuff and me initiating a little bit more because I just feel like he wants me all the time. I don't necessarily have to initiate, but I've been taking her advice and I've been initiating. Woo-hoo! I have. Aren't you happy about that?
You're very.
And I said on that episode that I was going to do something sexy, and I did. I wore something sexy. I'm initiating. Woo, woo. Round of applause for me. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But we don't have a problem in that area. Thank goodness. We really don't. I think sometimes as women, we get in our head and we all have these insecurities. I mean, I think just being a woman is difficult. I enjoy being a woman, but there are things that, you know, our body starts changing. Like I feel very young, but I'm like, okay, internally, my clock is ticking as far as like having children and all these things. Thank goodness that we're able to freeze our eggs because I'm not entirely ready. And I think him and I are both on that page. On the same page. Like I've never felt like I want to have kids with anyone else as much as I want to with him. He makes me feel very secure in that area. Like he'd be a great father and a great person to have a child with. But I just kind of still want to enjoy my relationship with him. So that's the only thing for me. It's like, okay, well, I'm 36. I haven't had kids. He wants kids. Like, what if I never want to have kids? Like I always ask him, like, what if I can't? Let's just say, what if I can't, babe? What if I can't have kids? Are you going to be okay with that?
I would say this is like the only time I actually have to think about your age is when it comes to kids, because I mean, just to be healthy and safe and do it the right way. And, you know, like I have to think about that, you know, so that's probably the only time I really do think about the age. I have this like gap of a window that I feel like if we are going to, it's going to have to be in that gap right there.
When's the gap?
Honestly, like 3-4 years.
All right. That's cool. I could do that. I'm just enjoying our relationship so much. We do a lot together. I feel like I raised kids most of my life. That's why I'm like, I've thought about something we haven't even talked about, but like if I'm not able to give you that for whatever reason, it's going to bother me because I feel like I shouldn't take that from you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to take that from you because you're younger. You can find someone that wants to have children that, you know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, I have eggs. I just checked. We're good. You know, it's not like I don't have them or I can't or I'm infertile. Thank goodness I'm not. It's just really a time thing, you know, and I don't want to feel pressure to do that, which is why I do recommend ladies to get your eggs frozen as soon as possible. The sooner, the better. The younger you are, the better, so that you don't feel that pressure. But I don't want to take that from you.
Yeah, I also don't want to put that pressure on you either. Like I've told you before, we can go through every single option and every single process to make it happen. And at the end of the day, if we tried our hardest and it doesn't happen, I'm okay with that.
Really?
Yeah, I want you to know that.
Wow. Okay. Well, time will tell. And thank you. My producer actually is asking me to say something. Her name is Brianna. She wants to know, do I find myself teaching Emilio things in the bedroom? Absolutely not. Omi almost choked on her coffee over here. I'm not even joking, you guys. This is the comment we were talking about earlier. That's why there's nothing to teach. Like, it's just every button that I have has been pressed and is pressed, and I have no issue there. Thank God. And I feel the most wanted and sexiest I have ever fucking felt in my life. And I think that's why my mom was so in love with Fernie, her boyfriend, her soulmate that was 10 years younger than her, because she's like, he made me a woman. He gave me my first orgasm. That's what she said. So I'm like, I get you, mama. Mama, I feel you. Imagine your mom listens to it. She's like, yeah, that's my boy. See, that's going to be like, hell yeah.
Oh my God.
You guys, Emilio is an only child. That's another thing. Like, I don't think he would want to have just one kid. He would want two, right? Isn't that what we said before? No, or am I tripping?
I don't know. Honestly, we have 2 dogs and it's kind of hard to like share that love twice. You know, I think 1 kid for us would be, I think it fits our story.
You had a pretty good life.
Yeah.
You had a very good life. You had your ama, which is his grandma. I love his family, you guys. His tias, they're all awesome. They all helped raise him. So anyways, that's another thing. It's just a bonus to know that his family's just, they're awesome. I can drink with them. We dance. His mom and I get down on the dance floor. I'll share the video maybe one day. But anyways, talking about freezing your eggs, you guys, time is of the essence. The clock is ticking, like all those things that are just difficult, I think, for most women to talk about. I am here. I feel you. And if you have not heard my episode on freezing your eggs, I have an episode here on Chiquis and Chill. So you guys, check it out, listen to it. Now now that we're talking about Emilio's family, I want to share a story. I don't know if I shared it. I'm not sure if I shared it in the last episode when we had Emilio on very early on. I think it was the first or second. But when I met his mom for the first time, we went to La Condesa, and that's in Santa Monica here in LA. And we met, and she was very quiet at first. And then I saw that she had ordered an alcoholic beverage. And I said, oh, shoot, okay, this is awesome. I'll order one too. We started drinking a little bit. And then all of a sudden she looks at me and she's like, okay, so what are your intentions with my son since you are older than him? And I was like, oh, fuck. And then she just started laughing. I was like, oh my God, thank goodness. Like, I was like, I've never been asked that question because I've never dated anyone younger than me. But I told, I think, my grandma, I didn't really talk to her too much, honestly, about Emilio. I didn't have the chance before things got weird in our family. But I did speak to Jenica, who, as you guys know, is like my best friend, my sister Jenica. And I told her, I was like, I'm a little worried. She's like, you're thinking about it way too much. Like, he's very mature. He's chill. Like, you need to stop. That's going to get old. If you think about it way too much, like, you're going to call that upon your life. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. I should know better. So I think everyone's reaction on my end was pretty cool. My brother Mikey is a year older than Emilio. Mikey just turned 30. So at first he was kind of like, he was there at the party, at Becky's party. And I think Emilio accidentally dropped a beer on him.
I still don't believe that.
Right? That whole thing. So Mikey was like, what's up? And now you're dating the guy that dropped the beer on me? And I'm like, it was an accident. He's like, no, I know. It's cool. But you know, I'm going to like see what's up with him. Like, he was trying to be all tough because he's like a year older. I was like, Mikey, calm your ass down. I'm a grown ass woman. Chill. But now they love each other. Now they're cool. Johnny loves him. Johnny's really cool. They talk a lot. That makes me so happy. Like, and Emilio really tries. Like, Emilio, not like, oh my God, like over the top, but he's cool. Like, he initiates conversations with my brothers. Like, he tries. He's not like just like, well, whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. I don't care. He knows how important they are to me. And it feels good to know that we're all chilling. Jackie, my sister, loves him. You know, she's like, he's so cute. I love his dimples. Oh my God, his eyes, sister. You guys would have cute babies. She's all about it. But what about your family? Did they ever tell you anything about our age difference?
No, actually. I feel like when it comes to like my friends, even my family, like we're very tight, you know, especially with my mom. I feel like I know she trusts me. So it doesn't matter what I bring because they have a confidence in me that I'm like, I wouldn't make any decisions that would be bad or hurt me in any sort of way. So I feel like after they met you, you know, they loved you instantly. So I feel like my mom making that joke of like, well, you are older than him. That's like...
just to break the ice?
Yeah. It's like something funny I would say to like welcome you.
She's funny. She really does. She really does joke a lot. But okay, so none of your friends ever said like, dang, that girl's way too thick for you, or that girl's are you sure you want to be like with that girl? She's like older. Never.
No, never.
Not once.
Not one person. Because, I mean...
I get along with his friends. His friends are dope. All of them.
Because they also see how happy I was. Everyone was like, I've never seen you this happy before. So there was no worries there for me.
All right. That makes me really happy. So now I have a very important question. Are you ready? Emilio Merced Sanchez, are you pussy whooped?
You know what? I don't even care. I am. I don't care. I love it too.
Oh my God. But it's not just that, right? It's not just infatuation.
Yeah, no, it is, but with everything, not just sexually. Like, I want to be with you every day because I feel so comfortable around you. I feel like everything is cool. You comfort me. We comfort each other.
We're chill. One of his friends said something super cool the other day that made me happy. Like, cause I'm just me, you know, and his friends have all been super dope. We've had great times, great dinners. And one of his friends is like, yeah, Janae can come to the birthday party. She's like one of the guys. I was like, oh, that's tight. Like, that made me so happy. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I think we are very, very compatible. We have great communication. And the best advice I can give any of you out there that are in a relationship or starting a relationship or haven't found that person, but is waiting. I think that laying things out in the very beginning doesn't matter how old you are. It's just knowing what you want going in. And being honest. If what you want to do is just have a good time and fuck around, then you say that in the beginning. If you want something a little bit more serious, like we're like, okay, are we going to date exclusively? We asked that question early on. And I'm like, yeah, I'm down. He says, okay, me too. Cool. Get that out of the way. Let things flow. But it's always important to communicate and be honest from the very beginning. There are things and hard conversations that Emilio and I have had to have where I don't want to hide anything from him. Like, I don't want to taint our relationship. I don't want to contaminate it with lies. Even if he'll never find out, there are things that I'm like, Emilio, I need you to know this. This happened and I have to face the music. And if he gets upset, he gets upset. I have to understand that. We've had those conversations. He's also very honest with me. I think that's why it's worked. So the age hasn't really gotten in the way because we both walked in knowing what we want, what we deserve, what we won't tolerate. We were very on the same page with that. So yeah, I don't know if you agree, babe.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that it never bothered me the age. But in the beginning, I remember I'm like, I was 28 actually when I met you. So I can tell. And I saw that it was something that you were worried about. So for me, or one thing you said, it was like, okay, how do you know that you're going to want something different in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years? Mm-hmm. And I knew what I wanted a year ago. I was very confident. So it's like, all I need to do is just stay consistent with that.
That's the word, consistency.
Yeah. And a year later, I want you and love you more than I ever have, and it's like, to me, it erases those insecurities of like, well, what's going to happen later? Like, we can't really worry about that. And as long as you're consistent and,
Yeah, that's something he definitely is. He's consistent. And if there's something that we both like to do is if we're falling off track or one of us is getting too comfortable, we're like, hey, you're not doing what you were doing that made me fall in love with you. And I'm telling you, communication is key, and giving love, doing those cute things, even randomly. Like it's only been a year. Yes, you guys, but he's been pretty good with it. So I'm just hoping and praying that it stays that way. And I also have to do my part. It's not just the guy. I'm very, very adamant and intentional. There's that word. That's one of my favorite words, as you guys know, intentional about doing things and not feeling like, oh, the guy has to always pursue me. Like we also have that responsibility of pursuing and making our man feel wanted and loved and handsome and all that stuff, So you just got to know that you're ready. You're ready to be in a relationship and you want the same thing at the end of the day. And the best advice that I can give anyone out there that is thinking about dating someone or has stopped themselves from dating someone because they're younger than them or way too old, you know what? Don't let that bother you. Like I have been watching Love is Blind and it's crazy. And that's what it should be like, where you get to know the person without really like, yes, physical attraction is important. I totally get that. But it's like, how compatible are you guys on a mental level, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level? Like those things is what's going to last forever. If you guys have the same morals, so don't just ex-nay something because, oh, he's way too young. Like I'm telling you, I never thought that I was going to date someone younger. It has made me a more confident woman. It's made me just want to look better every day, feel better, like take care of myself. It's helped me personally as well. I've never been a woman to just be comfortable. Like I've always wanted to look good for my man, but I'm saying like he's younger than me. So in the beginning, I did think about, oh my God, I'm 7 freaking years older. But then I'm like, wait, like I take care of myself. Like I don't look my age. Like it's just keep doing that. And he does all these fun things that we're going to go to Yosemite, you guys, like we're going to go hiking and shit. Like, I'm kind of like, yeah, like I've been waiting to do something like this. So I'm excited. I mean, it's just looking at it in a positive way and really knowing if you have a soul connection with someone. Fuck all this. If it's socially accepted, F all that. It's about you guys. It's a relationship entre dos personas. Okay. So that's the best advice. I don't know. Do you have some advice, babe?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just going to say about the connection part, like, yes, we have connection sexually and all that, but like sometimes we connect even more when we have like our deep conversations. And I feel like sometimes that gives us all the energy and confidence, reassurance, everything. Like we connect on such a high level during our conversations. I think that's been our strongest thing since the beginning is our communication. It's the thing I'm most proud of our relationship.
You're so right. You get me freaking horny by like conversations that we've had where I'm like, he's just so fucking wise. And sometimes I stay quiet and, I can talk. I have a podcast, you guys. I could talk. And there's times when he could just talk to me and put things into perspective without me having to say a word. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, this is why I love you. Yes, like come give it to me. You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel because of the communication and the fact that he's just so wise. And I'm telling you, like therapy, you guys know therapy in general. It is so important.
Yeah, I want to say something about therapy actually. Coming from the way I grew up, therapy was always kind of not frowned upon, but it's not the macho thing to do, especially for a male.
Right.
But I've been in it since I was 18 years old and it's helped me so much. And before I got with you, I was out of it for like a year. And when we first started dating, I had the urge to get back in it because before we had any sort of problems or deep conversations or anything like that, I wanted to make sure that I was good on my end to be able to at least be the best version that I can be that day for you and for our relationship. It's maintenance. There may not be something wrong, but as long as I'm keeping, the wheels greased, like, we're going to be smoother than like jumping into therapy when things are already crazy,
Right. Absolutely. See, you guys see why? Well, anyways, that's just a little bit of him. I don't want to share him too much. No. Blow me a kiss, babe.
I love you.
I love you. Well, you guys, I wish we could spend more time talking about this, but we have to run. As you guys know, I always leave you guys with a quote, a motivational quote, because it is Motivational Monday. So this week's quote is, you can just give up on someone because the situation is not ideal. Great relationships aren't great because they have no problems. They're great because both people care enough about the other person to find a way to make it work. So that is a quote. Thank you guys again for listening in on another episode of Chiquis and Chill. Como saben, hasta la próxima semana. Los quiero con todo mi corazón. Babe, say bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for having us.
Bye, everyone, and come give me a motherfucking kiss. Mwah. Bye, guys. This is a production of iHeartRadio and My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcasts and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.